treat your users with a super nice search experience across the whole app with our newest plugin, SearchBox Pro. So I'm excited to give you a little tour about SearchBox Pro, and this basically just adds global search to your applications like you used to from YouTube, any social media website, or basically any website that's out there. I think it was really missing in Apex, so that's why we developed it, but you can see it in action here. So it's just globally in the app bar an input, and if I type in there, for example, Acme, and in here I show like just projects and tasks, so I can with the keyboard go through the results, click enter to see like here the details of this task, and if I, for example, just go on a project like this one, I see a different page, so I can just link around in my app with it. Okay, so let's get started. How do we actually use this in your apps? And it's fairly simple because we didn't reinvent the wheel. We actually set it up to reuse search configurations. So in any shared components after 22.2 Apex version, you have this search configuration section in the shared components. And in there you can define basically search for your applications. So for example, let's jump into here. This is a projects one. And here I've just inputted a query on my data, on my projects, and I say which columns are searchable. I can say, okay, this is a title, this is a subtitle, description. So there's like some placeholders we can later use. I can say I want an icon, I can put a template, more on that later. And most importantly, like I can say the project search configuration links to page 310, and I want to pass my project ID so I can see the right project when I click one. So here this one, for example, pages is also interesting. I just hooked up my desktop navigation menu. Query looks complex, but it's not. Trust me on that. So you can just basically search any page that is linked from the navigation menu. So you don't need to collapse many levels of the navigation menu, for example. Also, it's not only possible to do this on SQL statements, we also have like Oracle text. Oracle text indexes are amazing. If you don't know them, you need to look them up. They allow you to do some kind of fuzzy search or like some function like contains on a huge text, etc. It's really powerful and also easy to use with our plugin now. Lists, you can just reference an existing list, and in newer database version, there's also Oracle, I think it's called ubiquitous search, where you can basically define such search configurations directly in the database. Okay, so how do we use this cool item? I've made a sample application here, and we go to global page 0, because we want it to be in every page. So you could of course put it anywhere, but I would recommend it to put on the global page. You want global search. So in here we just have this item plugin, Search Pro and SearchBox Pro, so we can drag it somewhere and then make sure to put it position or slot in your versions after, I think I can't, after logo here, position after logo, yeah. And then we can name it like search. We can now define like which search configurations should be used, and you can just paste like the ID of the search configurations. So if I only want one, I can just do it, but I think it makes sense to let users search to any data entity, so also add tasks and pages. That's the 3 search configurations I had in my app. Then there's this mode setting, and this is something I haven't showed you yet, but there are 3 options. Item is the one you just saw. With this item, basically, you can just type in there, and let me show you actually, like this is responsive. On a small device like a smartphone, this jumps to the spotlight mode. In spotlight mode, this is just a button up here, and when I click it, it's going to be this modal search thing, so I can just use it like the other one, go through here, open the results. But this is like more usable for smartphones, because like a huge input takes up a lot of space, or it's like even too small to really click into and see long text in there. So we made this responsive mode. So first you can of course always use item mode, always use responsive mode, but always use spotlight mode. But in responsive, you can say on small devices, switch from item to spotlight. You can even say which the breakpoint, at which point it will change. And then we have like the template mode. So first let's look at default, and you can say, okay, in the search configurations, you can say basically the positions of your data. And you can now even enable them. So if you don't want to show all the information, for example, the badge, the custom 3 placeholder, don't select them, and now it's only like title is always displayed, but subtitle and description now too. And we can like add a search keyboard shortcut, show the shortcut, so we just can open it with Command or Control K. We hide the label, we don't want like the label colon then the item in the top bar. We can say how many results should be shown. I can increase or decrease that. And also this one just makes it more beautiful, because normally it would increase the height of the application bar. So now it's here, great, it does work actually, but it still looks kind of weird. It's not looking like the other example. So let's go back into the global page and make some like last adjustments here. So first we go into the template. So this is the floating one. This is the floating, it has the label in it. So we just move to optional. This will have the label outside of the input. And then we can say size large is a little bit better to have it, use up more space. Left margin, we can do it to medium, for example. We want a placeholder, just type in search, and an icon always makes sense. So like here actually, where you have the search icon next to the search. So, and again, let's look at our result here. This one, and we have this beautiful search. So Command K, and it's working. So here we actually have like this is the task template. We only show like subtitle and details here. So we have the stages. This one has not this information, so it's not displayed. And like if I go back again, and in here just enable, for example, custom 1 I have set, and then just reload, I can see that now like this is saying it's project, and here this is saying it's the task. Okay, so another thing we can do actually is customization really quickly. So here I just made this look completely different, like it's a more sleek, modern design I would say, and it's just this CSS. I won't go into detail in here, but just take a look at it if you like this kind of look and make it fit to your theme, for example. Then we can also like customize the results. So for example, this is like a general fitting to any app, I would say, conservative search results, but we can just provide your own template. So for example, this one makes it a harder distinction on projects and tasks with this icon style. And it's just this template, and you can use like your CSS styles, your classes, and even the Apex template syntax here to say, okay, in this case, if the config label, which is basically the search configuration name, is tasks, then show this, and otherwise show that. So yeah, you can make it look like you want, and also like the search configurations, there's also a placeholder to supply a template for your search configuration, and there's also a setting to reuse these ones. So I just have another example here. So yeah, just a general overview. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you have any feedback on this, and I hope you find it useful. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.